Hi, this is Koshal with Secure Guard Consulting. In our last module, we talked about what hackers or criminals are after. In this module, we're going to talk about the main technique that hackers are using to exploit or compromise your systems: social engineering. Social engineering is any act that influences a person to take an action that may or may not be in their best interest. When we think about social engineering, we really want to focus in on influence. And if you notice in the definition, we use the words may or may not. When we think about a doctor, for example, when we walk into a doctor's office, they will encourage us to eat properly. They'll encourage us to maybe exercise more, eat less fatty foods, or anything that's in our best interest that helps our health. By definition, this is considered social engineering. The key is that in this case, or when you are trying to help a client, that it's in their best interest. Hackers use many of the same techniques that you might use, only when hackers are doing it, it's not in their victim's best interest. So social engineering is ultimately the art of manipulating people so they give up confidential information that is not in their best interest. The vulnerability that hackers are trying to exploit is the human component. As humans in our society, we like to be helpful, to be kind, and to be generous. However, social engineering is when hackers are using these qualities against you by exploiting the human component. At its most basic level, if I were to randomly call you on the phone and say, "Hey, can you give me your username and password?" you would probably most likely say no. However, if a hacker can make that same phone call and induce some form of urgency and provide some type of legitimate reason why they need that information, it becomes harder to protect yourself from. Statistics and experience show us that you, without proper knowledge and training and experience, will be more likely to provide that information. And this is the focus of our entire video series, is to provide you with more information and to get you to recognize the emotions that will take place that cause a hacker to be able to succeed. Phishing is the practice of sending emails from what appears to be a reputable source with the goal of gaining information. Simply put, phishing is social engineering by email. It's where hackers try to get information or access to your computers, again by email. This could literally be an email that comes into your inbox with a link to a malicious website or an attachment with a malicious piece of software. Phishing is one of the most common forms of social engineering, and it's one of the most powerful forms of social engineering for three reasons. First, it's easy, meaning a hacker doesn't need to interact with you in any way to obtain information or breach your computer. Second, it's simple. Simple YouTube searches or Google searches can teach someone how to compromise systems. Sending an email normally is a simple task, and sending many emails, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of emails through code in an automated way is also very simple, in really under 10 lines of code. And third, it's effective. Untrained people click links and download attachments. Because of these three reasons, it's the most powerful form of social engineering.